Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Wish intel. And today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris this week. Offers the game type Checkmate and some pretty interesting rewards that we will also cover, as well as take you through all the other farms, glitches, cheeses that you can use heading into the weekend if you haven't had a chance to play much this week. Today, XUR can be found over in the EDZ, in the Winding Cove, if you know exactly where that is, up on the cliff, right here. There is a tunnel, remember. Today, XUR is selling the Queensbreaker, sort of an interesting fusion rifle, linear fusion rifle. Used to be really good in PvP. Haven't used it in a long time, but had some crazy auto aim on it, so still might be fairly decent. We have the 6th Coyote with a 65 roll, high mobility, high strength, gain a second dodge charge. Not really sure how this plays into the PvP or PvE meta at the moment, but 65 isn't a terrible roll, and this is a pretty good distribution. We have the Mark 44 Stand-Asides with a 67 roll. This is, I would say, probably the best exotic so far this weekend, especially if you're on a Titan. 67 is really high. Recovery, intellect, can't really go wrong with those. Might want a little bit more strength on this, but you could still build into this with a 67. And then we have the Controverse Holds with a 64. Nothing terrible to write home about this particular exotic, though it isn't bad in the PvE meta at the moment. For void builds, of course, this particular roll is not the best, as mobility is sort of wasted, and 64 isn't that high. So maybe hold out unless you're really looking for this particular exotic. For legendary weapons, we have a Enigma's Draw sidearm with opening shot and demolitionist. We have a Shepherd's Watch with tunnel vision and firing line. We have the Firefright with threat detector, elemental capacitor, and extrovert. This is another deep sight activation weapon. I actually really do like this auto rifle. We have a Widow's Bite with firmly planted and demolitionist. We have the Decide with hipfire grip and elemental capacitor. We have the Behringer's Memory. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Probably not. With quick draw and demolitionist. And then we have a Fire and Forget with Killing Wind, Frenzy, and Ambush. Another deep sight activation weapon here. This used to be a really good linear fusion rifle. I say this is a great roll on this linear fusion rifle. Unfortunately, linear fusion rifles are not currently in the PvE meta, but when they will be, this is, yeah, you wouldn't need to use your deep sight resonance on this one or your deep sight harmonizers on this one. But pick it up if you're looking for a very good stasis linear fusion rifle. Let me know which one of these I might have said wrong in the comments section down below for another entry into the next giveaway on this YouTube channel for this video. For the legendary armor, we have the glitched set of armor, or a glitched set of armor. If you don't know what I'm talking about, on rotation, these legendary pieces of armor will get an old set from a very distant ago season, and they have not been updated, unfortunately. This has been going on for quite a bit now. The Pathfinder armor set, I'm not a huge fan of, though it's not the worst. It's not a bad looking helmet, but of course this is across the board on all three classes, so if you were looking for a decent piece of legendary armor this week, it's going to elude you. Over on the next page, we have the Hawkmoon with Snapshot Sight. Combat Grip. We have our exotic ciphers, of course. Remember, if you already have an exotic cipher, you will not be able to pick one up, but they're great. Well, actually, I think you can carry up to 5 now exotic ciphers, so If you can't pick one up, it's because you have 5. Go use them at the tower kiosk for some free exotics. There's some great ones there. So overall, I would say some interesting things today, but maybe no real major standout. Mark 44s are very, very good, in my opinion. They're decent, but no, like, major standout. If this was a 68 or above, I'd probably say definitely, run to XUR as quick as you can and get these if you're a Titan. But 67 with this particular stat distribution, I would say is only a B+, even though they're a good exotic. And that's going to be it for all the information regarding XUR today. Going to head over to the tower really quick. Show you what Same 14 is selling, as it's actually a pretty exciting week for Trials of Osiris. Checkmate, of course. We also have some good adept weapons, or a good adept weapon. While we're heading over to the tower, just a brief recap of all the things going on today and this week. For the Legendary Lost Sector, for today, we have the Gilded Precept over on Neomuna. It is awarding exotic head armor, so if you're looking for an exotic helmet, that's the time to go and farm that out. Remember also, if you've been saving up your exotics in your Postmaster using the Postmaster glitch, you can take them out today and you'll get the exotic from today's Legendary Lost Sector versus the day you farmed it on. You can do this, if you don't know, by simply just having a full inventory of Ingrams on your person, and all the exotics you would get from a Legendary Lost Sector instead get sent to your Postmaster as an exotic Ingram, which can then be pulled out of your Postmaster on a different Legendary Lost Sector's day, and it will decrypt to that day's loot. I always want to give a brief recap of that, because I still get questions about it often. It's not the easiest concept to understand until you do it, but it's a great thing to do. So if you want to farm one day and get a different day's loot. As I said, this week is Checkmate, and the map is Javelin 4. So good luck if you're farming for this insane PvE weapon. The Incisor comes in the adept form. This is the trace rifle, 4-strand. I think it's the only trace rifle for strand. It's a great PvE weapon, especially when trace rifles will be in the Champions meta, which I'm sure they're going to be in at least, short period of time. At some point, we're going to have the trace rifles in the Champions meta again. But this one's just a great one to have, period. Pairs insanely well with all strand builds. And the great thing about trace rifles is you get so much ammo with them that it's almost like you have a primary weapon, even though they're a special weapon. So you can usually, with a trace rifle, rock 2 special weapons. So this is why this pairs especially well with strand. Remember, if you want this at the non-adept form, which is still great to farm out, you can get it at rank 10. If you're looking to get any of this loot for free, you can always use the AFK way of farming this. If you want to know a little bit more about how to get that done, I can tell you about it maybe in another video this weekend. I have made videos about it before, but if you'd like to know, leave a comment down below. This one rolling with Splice and Killing Tally. Splice is a great perk for just the rank 10 Incisor. So probably worth it just for that this weekend to farm out some trials. Another weekly news, as I talked about earlier this week's Nightfall and GM Nightfall is the Corrupted. Very old strike, not the easiest one to get done. The Loaded Question is the reward. If you can get it done at the GM difficulty while getting a platinum reward, you will guarantee yourself the adept version of the Loaded Question. Seems to be a pretty sought after legendary fusion rifle, so come with some very good rolls. And as I said, this is Checkmate. It's also double loot this week, before I forget to mention, in the Vanguard playlist. For the featured raid this week, we had the Vault of Glass. So if you're looking to farm out the Vex Mythoclast, now's the time to hop in there this weekend. Presage was the exotic mission if you're looking for DMT. The featured dungeon was the Shattered Throne over in the Dreaming City, which definitely needs an upgrade. Great dungeon, but needs an upgrade to its loot. Last thing we'll check out is what Banshee 44 is selling today. And remember that his loot will rotate 7 hours after the daily reset timer, so 7 hours after Trials and XUR arrived. You will have a new cache of Banshee 44 loot. So this will only be available for the next 7 hours or so. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel. We do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X or a video card of equivalent value. If you've watched till this point in the video, you can also leave a hashtag XUR or any of the words I might have mispronounced in this particular video in the comments section down below, or a hashtag Lightfall or hashtag Season of the Wish to be entered into that next giveaway a second time for this video. Remember, I do those secret hashtags or words on all videos, so if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course do it again. Want to give a brief shout out to my buddy Sinister, who joins me sometimes on these Friday videos. Feeling a little under the weather, so maybe everybody could send him a well wish in the comment section. I'll also enter you into the next giveaway. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Of course, we will see you next time. Have a good weekend, everybody. Little